Line up, you fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line, we are live, and I am here with not Mike Finch, but another Mike. It's Mike Pendleton, who's going to be chatting it up with me for a little while to start the show off. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm no Finch. I'm no Jessica Rose Clark, but
yeah, listen,
phone call,
bro,
I'll answer.
We got somebody. Listen, I'm glad to have you. Unfortunately, Jessica Rose Clark was in, bro. We got the advertisement with him in the side. We have her in the thumbnail. She had some personal issues going on, wasn't able to make it. Hopefully, we do get her on in a future show because she has expressed interest and an IOU to us. So we do appreciate that and look forward to having her back. I want to talk to you, Mike, just to start the show off a little bit about some recent work you've been doing. Tell us about yourself. Give us some insight on what's going on for you.
Yeah, so I got my own channel just under my name, Mike Pendleton, host of the On the Mike podcast. I hate to say it like this, but because it's so corny, but I try to go more of the poor version of a Rogan podcast. So,
okay,
I'm not going to sit here and break down fights with every single fighter. I'm going to talk to a fighter about their life, their journey, their path, their outside interests. And then eventually we'll get to their fight that either is coming up or that they just won, sometimes lost. As you know, it's not easy to talk to a fighter after a loss. So, UFC, Bellator, some smaller promotions, do a lot of work with Bellator. Always thankful for, for those guys over there. But yeah, that's it. And then a lot of, I would say some news writing is what I would call myself, a news writer over at mymmanews.com. Also where I post my interviews and some of my more in-depth featured stories from these interviews. So it's really it. It's nothing crazy, but for me, it's just one of those things that you've got the Luke Thomases of the world. You've got guys like yourself who could break it down from different perspectives. Ariel Helwani always took me under his wing starting off, but I just kind of want the fighter to tell their own story. I'm not looking for the clickbait headline, the one-liner quote. I mean, those are great. Don't get me wrong. Those are great. But I find that once you build a respect with these fighters and you let them tell their own story, it makes for better conversation.
Oh, it's nice, man. Like the true podcast style interviews. That's kind of like, I feel like on the Money Line, what we try to do when we have the fighters on is make it more of like we're having a conversation, less of A, B, C, D, E questions. It's not a media day. We're sitting down having a good conversation, which I think is, humanizing to the athletes, which I think builds bigger fan bases even for them too.
Well, even media days, man, I won't mention promotions. I won't mention people, but some of these media days, you've got guys talking to fighters who are openly telling everyone they smoke weed, and media member comes in and they're like, oh man, I can't wait to roll up with you one day. That would be so great. It's like, cool. So you're not talking jiu-jitsu. We know that. What's your favorite strain? Like, I got nothing against weed, but like, it's not what we're here for. You know what I mean? Like, we're not seeing an Adam Schefter go to a Buccaneers practice last year and go, hey, Rob Gronkowski, what's your favorite CBD? Like, I don't care about that. You know what I mean? But, I also look at the sport differently because I come from a background that covered NFL, NBA, and everything. And, you pick a fighter. Yeah, I don't care who it is. You could pick any fighter. They may not fight. Jessica Rose Clark is a great example. I've talked to her in the past. Here's a girl who has had long layoffs in her career. If you cover the NFL, if Tom Brady throws an interception, there's another game next Sunday. Jessica Rose Clark gets injured. We don't know when she'll be recovered, ready for fight camp and all that. So, I take these interviews, I take these opportunities very seriously. And even media days, it's not, oh, let's see how quickly we can get a one-liner out of them. Just let's talk to them the same way you would talk to them off camera. And you find the answers are a lot better.
The real takes is really what
you have to, man. You have to. It honestly, like, I feel like probably over the last 6 months, I've complained about this on my show the most, but it's because it's the response I get from fighters. Like, damn, thanks for like the real interview, and it's like, it's in a different sport, right? Because as much as, and I've got college football on in the background, as much as we can watch these games and probably betting on football, probably betting on baseball, right? We can say, how could someone hit an Edwin, or how could you strike out from Edwin Diaz? I could have hit that. I was right there. You're not touching 103 miles per hour. You're not catching a Tom Brady pass. You're not guarding LeBron James. We all know that. But everyone in the world, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you do, everyone thinks they can fight.
Right,
if
right.
They fought or not. So when they watch fights, they go, oh, how'd you get knocked out by that? Okay. Right. So that's kind of the angle I take, because once you know these people as people, once you know these fighters as people, then you'll understand why they fight. And that's really why I do my show.
I like that, man. More of the deep dive in the background, get an understanding of them as a person rather than just the generic questions. Because we've all seen those type of interviews, man. I like
everyone's
more
gonna get those
podcast
same
style.
questions.
Yeah,
I hate this is my favorite one.
Yeah.
Oh wait, let me ask you.
Yeah.
What is the most common question on a media day?
Bro, from what I've seen, like, what do we see? How was the camp? How was training? What are you planning on doing in this fight? What do you think about your opponent?
How's the weight cut?
How's the weight cut? That's always top tier.
Yeah. Let me just tell you how I'm doing right now.
No matter how bad it is, I'm saying it's going fucking fantastic. I'm in the best shape of my life.
Everybody will tell you. Real quickly, I'll tell you when Yoel Romero fought Robert Whittaker at UFC 225 in Chicago. I was in the hotel, and I'll just put it to you this way. Yoel missed by 0.2. I could tell by what I was seeing him walk in with earlier in the week. Food-wise, I was like, my man, 4 days before a title fight?
Okay.
I wouldn't eat that, but I'm never going to say that to Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where, again, not my place. No, I don't care. I'd rather talk to Yoel about how he got to this point and why he keeps fighting at his age. But yeah, this sport is crazy. And with all that said, when a guy like Mike Finch asked me to jump on a renowned show like this, absolutely.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We appreciate that, bro. We appreciate that love.
That's what I'm here for.
Have to wish an anniversary to the Finch man, which is the reason that he's unfortunately not with us. He's enjoying some time with his beautiful lady. Glad for the man. Mike Finch, if you're watching, happy anniversary to you, my brother.
Yeah, talk about a guy who outkicked his coverage. I know both him and the missus. I mean, happy anniversary to them. But he did well for himself there.
He's the man. He's the man. Yeah, and to the people, Jessica Rose. This is a funny comment, man. I got to bring up some of the comments for the people. Jessica Rose Clark, is that right or left chick? Dude, Jessica Rose Clark, unfortunately, will not be here. Hopefully, you guys in the chat can let the people know as the show goes on and they come in why she's not here. Unforeseen circumstances, unfortunately, not able to be here. But we got Mike in the house, man. We got.
I don't
Mike
have that many
Pendleton.
tattoos, but I'll try. I'll make it worth it.
He's doing it. He's making it happen, man. Now I do want to ask you. Now that you did bring up Yoel Romero, what do you think about Romero fighting Manhoof over there in Bellator, then working towards maybe title shot? I'd assume the Johnny Eblen fight's right on the horizon for him too.
I mean, I love it, right? Like, I don't, and I want to say this respectfully. I think Bellator knows when Bellator gets these veteran guys that come over from other promotions or have grown their way up with Bellator. Bellator knows how to handle them. It's not like the other promotion, the UFC, where they're feeding veterans to the younger fighters. And damn, if you keep winning, we'll just keep putting you in these bigger fights. Like, that's how the UFC, Bellator knows, all right, this is who I have. This is how I have to address. This is how we have to address it. These are the fights we got to get them. And I mean, of a man who's no joke, but Yoel Romero is Yoel Romero. And man, you could sign me up for any fight Bellator wants to put Yoel in. I really don't care. Like, I know that he's in a promotion that now kind of respects his resume and will just let him be him. I think, and I'm probably wrong, and I don't want to speak out of line, but I definitely think that performance against Adesanya, and sometimes you see he's a little gun shy, kind of turn the UFC away from him. And kudos to Yoel and his team for going and getting the right offer for them. And I think he's in the right place, and I think that's a great fight for him. And if he wins, again, you can't deny a guy if he continues to win. The UFC can, Bellator won't. So that I really like that opportunity for him.
Agreed, man. I think he's doing a good thing in Bellator. I mean, not a young guy by age, but by his physique. You think he's still just hitting 32, primed. Big fight card this weekend, though. I do want to ask you a little bit about the matchups. I'll jump first to co-main event between Vettori and Whittaker. It seems like a lot of people aren't giving Vettori much of a shot here. Are you one of those folks that are kind of like, listen, this is the Whittaker show?
I am, but I'm not, right? Because, and I know he clarified his comments today. I didn't listen to him, but I know he clarified. When a guy is already openly discussing a potential move to another weight class, you got to wonder, how's he coming into the fight? Does he want to do the weight cut? He's been at the top. He's been the champion. He's done all of these things. Does he want to continue to do it? Or does he want to wake up happy one day, losing no weight? You know what I mean? So I think Robert Whittaker is without a doubt a better fighter than Marvin Vettori. I think Vettori is nearing that line where he's going to start fighting emotionally to prove he belongs at the top, and you're not going to survive there. He's worried about Darren Till. He's worried about Israel Adesanya. Worry about the man in front of you, because Robert Whittaker is still a problem. And, I don't want to count Marvin Vettori out. He is a very, very good fighter. But when your eyes are elsewhere for Vettori, other people in the division, I wonder if you're taking Robert Whittaker seriously. But then the script flips, and I wonder how much longer Robert Whittaker wants. I'll say this. If Robert Whittaker loses, his next fight is probably at 205. But if he wins, he may get that fire lit. I would like for Robert Whittaker to win this fight and then go, all right, 205, here I come. He has nothing more to prove at 185, except maybe beat Adesanya, but I don't know who wants to see that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he's down 2-0. The last one, close decision, man. It was a good competitive fight, but ultimately Adesanya, has a little bit of a half step ahead of him. Up a weight class at 205 for Robert Whittaker. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to picture him versus, the top echelon guys, the Jamal Hill. He's a little bit outsized, in my opinion, I think, for some of those guys. So I do feel like if he's put in there with certain matchups, I think he could struggle. And Magomedov and Ankalaev, I think, is too skilled and too big for him. But if you match him up, I mean, the Yuri Prochazka fight is not an impossible result for Robert Whittaker to pull that one off stylistically. I think he struggles more against, I guess, the new breed guys. Jamal Hill's on the way up. I think he's the southpaw stance. He'd be too quick for Whittaker and too big. I think Ankalaev technically could pick him apart. I look at it, you match him up versus a Jan Blachowicz. I'm interested in that fight. You match him up with the Glover Teixeira. You match him up with Yuri. Like, those matchups I see maybe winnable opportunities for him there, because Whittaker also, I mean, he's proven durable as they come with a bit of a weight cut. At 205, I'd assume the chin might even be a little bit better.
Yeah, and I'll mention another guy. I know he's currently out due to surgery. Give me Anthony Smith when he comes back. You got to think. Right. I mean, that's a fight that would really set 205 up for that middle half of the top 15, right? So Anthony Smith comes back, unfortunate in the last fight against Ankalaev, but if you face the former middleweight champion, Anthony Smith, also a former middleweight, if Robert Whittaker wants to make that move, here's two former middleweights now at 205. If their time frames and schedules can line up, you could give me Anthony Smith and Robert Whittaker all day long. But you mentioned a few others that I would really like. But yeah, and I think on Contender Series this week, I heard something very good. I want to say it was Lorisenko. Also, shout out to Lorisenko, 100% one of the best in the game at any promotion, at any level. But mentioning how, some of the more veteran fighters in this sport came in when there were still those specialties. Now you trained everything because that's mixed martial arts, but they were still focused on your specialties. Now some of these younger fighters, Jamal Hill, for example, they're coming in having trained mixed martial arts from 6-7 years old. Yeah, you know what I mean? When you're training now every facet of the game at such a young age, once you're fighting at 31, 32, you're getting away from those specialty-focused fighters. And when you hit the 28, 27, 26, and younger, now you're getting those that have trained just the entire sport their entire life. So I think if Robert Whittaker wants to make that jump, he's got to go for those veteran fights.
I like those matchups better, man. I think smarter for him, but we'll see. He's got to fight Vettori. He's got to get past this one.
Vettori.
We still got a whole fight. We're jumping ahead. We're pulling a Vettori on this one. I like the take, though. I think solid pick there towards the Whittaker side. A lot of people would agree, but some obvious concerns. I like what you brought up there. Now, as far as the main event, the lines are crazy wide. Essentially, what the lines are telling us is there's not much of a chance for a win on the side of Tai Tuivasa. But when you look at a cage fight, possibilities are always there. What do you feel here? I mean, do you think Tuivasa can find a way to that chin, or is it going to be like Gane probably outstriking him for the vast majority of the fight?
I mean, I'm on the money line, right? So
Yes.
I got if I'm on the Moneyline show,
Yes.
I've got to do it right. So here's what you got to do. And if you lose, don't come. I don't have Twitter. I don't have YouTube. Like, you never heard of me. I was never on here. But here's what the betting lines, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Here's what the betting lines probably are saying. Gane by any which way, more than likely decision. Tuivasa, if you're looking for a healthy winner, by knockout. The question becomes, can Tuivasa get in? Can he get in that range? If he gets in that range, he's landing the punch. And if he can land the punch, he can win that fight. And I mean, we're talking about heavyweights. The thing that I kind of caution in this fight, Ciryl Gane said today at Media Day, the goal is to destroy, get in, and never get hit. Something along those lines. All right, well, my man, Tuivasa is going to hit you. This isn't Derek Lewis, Francis Ngannou, right? Like, it's not going to be that, because Tai Tuivasa will, and I think Francis Ngannou fight is a perfect example of what not to expect in this fight, because they were both kind of feeling each other out, and I don't want to say hesitant, but they just kind of did what they needed to do in that fight. Tai Tuivasa is not, he is in an essence, in my opinion, not talking skill set wise, I'm talking mentally. He is the Nathan Diaz of the heavyweight division. You are either going to kill me or I am going to kill you. That is it. It does not matter. So I don't ever see Tai Tuivasa getting gun shy, being reserved. I think it's going to be wild. But if Gane can control the wild beast that is Tai Tuivasa, I think he cruises to a win. But if Tai lands a shot, I think if you're looking to make money, I don't hate Tuivasa by knockout. I just don't hate it.
Okay. Tuivasa by KO. I want to pull up the odds here. I'll get fight odds on the slate. I think Tuivasa by knockout is more than plus 400 because actually
but
way
that's
more.
crazy.
It's plus 440.
But that's crazy because that's the
line.
best way he wins. That is more than likely the number one way he wins this fight.
I agree with that.
I don't think he's winning by sub.
No.
And I don't know if Ty's got it to go all five with Ciryl Gane. This is a guy who's been battle tested. He's fought for titles. He's done all those things. He's won the interim title. So he's tested. This is a test for Tuivasa, right? Like this is why Tuivasa has this fight, because we want to see if he's the upper echelon of the UFC heavyweight division. He very well might be. But to sleep on him by knockout at, what'd you say, plus 440, that's insane.
Actually, plus 650 by KO is the best line we can find.
Wow. I mean, I don't hate it.
It's not a bad line. If you're looking for lines to attack with wide line, that's the one to go to. I mean, if you ride with it and you get this one right, man, you the Mystic Mike, man. You're gonna get the Finchman's nickname from me.
I mean, listen, his last 5 wins have all come by KO TKO. And the fight before that, it was a submission. Like, I mean, we're talking about a guy who just finished his fights. Like, if Tai Tuivasa had like a couple knockouts here, but they were devastating, and then he had a few decision wins, all in this run that he's on, you could be like, okay, I could see a high line on a knockout, but he's finishing every single fight. I don't know how you don't. If you like Tuivasa in this fight, if you, for any reason, believe he can win this fight, you got to take him by KO TKO. And I'll say this, how many people thought Leon Edwards was knocking out Kamaru Usman? I wanted Leon to win that fight, but even in that fight, in the first round, maybe not, but second, third, and fourth, you're like, same story, different chapter, right? Kamaru Usman is going to just cruise to a victory. I know he said he wanted to finish, but at any single moment, it can happen. So and you're the expert, I am not, but if you're watching this, and if at any ounce of your body goes, I think I can take Tuivasa to win, I want Tuivasa to win, if you've got the money, sprinkle it on the knockout, because I don't see any other way he gets it done.
I do think if Tuivasa's winning the fight, it's KO. Main thing for me is I'm looking at the fight, and I'm just thinking to how Francis Ngannou couldn't find a shot on Ciryl Gane standing up. I mean, he had to out-wrestle him. So I kind of picture Tuivasa having even more difficulty, especially due to the disadvantage in the reach, right? So big factor there, good fight. I like that you're going against the grain with Tuivasa. Now, are there any other matchups on the card that you're looking forward to? Maybe you got a pick for something you're feeling confident about?
Yeah, absolutely not. But I do want to address that. So also remember Francis coming in with the knee injury. And I think, aggravated it and really messed it up in that fight. When you're that size of a man and the power you generate, I sound like Mike Finch right now, from your hips and your legs to throw those shots. I understand you just need, if you're Francis Ngannou, you just need to find one. But AJ, if you're tied to Tuivasa, you just need to find one. And that man doesn't care. He drinks beer out of shoes. He'll take Joe Rogan's shoe off and drink beer out of there. He'll walk out to Celine Dion. He does not care. Tied to Tuivasa does not care. But if you're looking back at how can Ty do what Francis couldn't, I just think it's because he doesn't care. You know what I mean? So Ciryl Gane's really going to have to fight the way we saw him fight when he won the title, when he was working his way to the title. And yeah, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say he can't fight the way he fought Francis, obviously, because he lost that fight. But if he can use his movement and just his technical side of how his striking, coming into that fight, it was power against technique, Francis versus Gane. He's going to have to be technical because one mistake, one counter by Ty, that could be all she wrote. But as far as this card, one fight I'm really looking forward to, it's our main card opener, Charles Jourdain and Nathaniel Wood. And I don't know the odds for that, but man, I love me some Nathaniel Wood.
Okay.
Love me some Nathaniel Wood.
That's good. Hey, listen, that's a solid pick because he's plus money. He's Dogville.
That guy's a gamer. He just fought earlier, I think a month or so ago. I mean, he's a guy who just shows up to fight every single fight, and no better dance partner than Charles Jourdain. So if you're looking for another dog, I feel like I hate being that guy because I don't look for dogs. That's why I'm asking you for the lines, but I just look for guys that I'm like, I could see this guy winning this fight. No, I'm not trying to be a shameless plug here, but Delano Taylor, when he fought Rory McDonald, I remember going, man, I should have thrown some money on here because I feel like Delano can get this done. First round, that was all she wrote. And then when you reassess and you look back at it, you're like, how could you not have thrown money on Delano Taylor? So those would be two that for me, as I watched this weekend, Nathaniel Wood tied to Tuivasa. I don't hate either of those guys. I
like that, man. No, I like seeing dog money. I think good quality attacks and realistic takes, bro. I like what I'm hearing from you, man.
Yeah, I'm not Yanni the Greek, but if I need a parlay, Nathaniel Wood, Robert Whittaker, and Tai Tuivasa, I mean, if you got it, spend it. You know what I mean? Because that's how I don't do, the lines or anything on my show because it's more just, host and fighter. But that's my line. That's what I say to everybody because I mainly watch my fight nights and my pay-per-view nights. I watch them at a local establishment. So I got everybody running up with their FanDuel points bet account. Before anybody asks me anything, they give me 2 picks, give me 3 picks. I go, if you got it, spend it. Here's how I would spend it. And that's how I look at it. Like, I'm not telling you to pull money, not to pay your mortgage or whatever. But if you've got the extra money, spend it on what I give you. That way, it's just extra. So if you lose it, don't be mad at me. I told you if you have it, spend it. I didn't tell you to do it. So that's how I look at it.
I like it, man. Throwing the parlay out to the people. I mean, we got a parlay segment and you gave it to us. Listen, man, I appreciate you for joining the show, giving a breakdown of what you're up to and talking about some of these matchups. I do want to give you the chance to just shout the exact names of the pages that you're on, whether YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Let the people know where they can find you, Mike.
Yeah, and I appreciate you having me. More than welcome to get on. I didn't mean to ruin the parlay segment. I was just throwing some.
No.
I feel like I could fit in.
You added it in. I like that. I was glad, man, because I got the Finch parlay in mind that I'll be reading out later. You're all good, man. I
love it. So I'm on Twitter at MP2310. That's where I'm most active. Instagram is Mike P2310, and then the YouTube channel is just my name, Mike Pendleton. And hopefully within the next week, between Twitter, Instagram, and my YouTube channel, I'll be announcing something ahead of UFC 279. And I'm pretty excited about that. So, stay tuned there. And then, like I said, all my written work is at My MMA News. But thankful to you guys here at the Moneyline for having me. And I'll come on whenever.
My guy, listen, I appreciate you coming on, especially last minute. We'll definitely have you back sometime, hopefully with the Finch man as well, so we can get a nice little three. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. It's gonna sound fucked up. They're gonna get me, bro. But
Yeah,
listen,
no,
we're gonna have
I
three
hear
good,
what you're
good people
saying,
to talk
man.
to.
I hear
Though
what
it'd be
you're
a good
saying.
show. Yeah, bro.
All I'm gonna request is if you're listening to this, you obviously see I'm rocking the Mets hat. The best thing to happen this summer was Timmy Trumpets and Edwin Diaz. Like, I'm not even riding the Mets train. If you don't listen to Timmy Trumpet and Narco, I'm gonna listen to that Saturday before the fights start, while the fights are playing, and before the main event. And if
Let me
Tai
ask you,
Tuivasa wins,
who is Timmy Trumpets, bro?
he's like honestly, I don't even know, but he's like a musician, kind of an EDM artist.
Okay.
And he literally plays the trumpet. He's got this song Narco that's now super popular for the Mets closer, Edwin Diaz. He like performed it at Citi Field Live when they brought him out to close the game out on Wednesday night. It was crazy. Citi Field was going crazy. I mean, listen, just look up Timmy Trumpet Narco.
I'll look it up.
That song will get anybody fired up. I'm listening to that before Saturday's main event. I'll do a shoey if my parlay hits, and I'll play it after. I'll do a shoey with Timmy Trumpets in the background.
That's what I like to hear, man. Listen, I've done some shoeys myself, bro. I was the shoey man for a while, but I'm trying to stay healthy, so I've been laying off those shoes. Mike, thank you for being here. I'm glad to have met you and chatted it up. Give the follow on the social medias, bro, and I definitely got you with the follow back too, brother.
Absolutely, thank you so much, and keep up the great work. I was honored to be a part of this, and
Thank you, bro.
I'm always tuned in for you guys.
Yes, sir, my guy. We'll have you on again, Mr. Mike Pendleton. Much love, brother.
Thank you, man.
All eyes on me.
All right, we're in the house, and it's me right now, solo. We do got special guest in the house, blank screen. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the Moneyline bet logo on the side, but for now, I'll keep it full. So at least we got something coming. I'm trying to get it looking a little darker. I feel like it looks better like that, but I'd have to press the hell out of it, guys. Solo show for now. Unfortunately, Jessica Rose Clark was not able to jump on. Mike Finch not in town, but we did have a bit of fun talking to our guy for a little while. Mike Pendleton, good dude. I like that interview. I appreciate the people for tuning in to the show. Much love. Shout out to the man Billy B in the chat producing the show. We're coming in clutch here with the solo. You watched that during the live walkouts. Put me in if you wanted old times. Andy, I wish I would have known beforehand. I would have gladly brought you in, bro. I would have, bro. The OG run back. I would have been down for that, man. Next time, at least I know I got you locked in for next time, my brother. Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you. Listen, hopefully what do you guys think? Is this blank screen bothering you? Because the problem is if I don't have it, I got to just be like this. Do I keep the blank screen for the rest of the show running just like this? Because I don't know how else really to do it. I'll be 100% honest with you guys. That's a on the fly lockup. We got it on the fly, locked up and in. Smash the likes too, guys. I appreciate you guys for being here. We'll run through the card. I'm going to give my picks for the matchups. Can you put Tapology on the second screen? Bro, I'm having like some serious issues with locking that up, man. The second screen, it's limiting the hell out of me because for whatever reason, I'll show you guys what's happening. So I go to put in the ad on the stream, right? And then it becomes this. If I lock it out, bring it here, it just brings us full screen it like that. Unfortunate, man. It's a reminder that we don't have no Jessica Rose Clark. Yeah, it is, unfortunately, man. I'd feel more comfortable if Finch was there. Bro, I should have a picture of the Finch man up. You're right. How do I last minute find a way to pull that off? Get a picture of the Finch man on the screen. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way, man. If there's a will, there is a way. Let's see here. Let's see if there's something I can do, man. But I'm going to give it 30 seconds if I can figure this out. If not, we'll just skip past it and just take it as it is. We might be able to pull this off, actually. Let's see. So I have the link in here. Also, while you guys are just hanging out, shout out to MyBookie for giving us the full sponsorship. We're locked in with the MyBookie team. So use code Moneyline if you are considering heading over there to sign up for any reason, because they're helping us out. They're doing us good, man. I got a lot of respect for the whole crew over there. And I like that we actually get the odds maker. We can see the bookie himself on our show. You guys have seen it a couple times, and I love having it, man. I love having the lines because I'm kind of on the way, I think, of convincing this man to allow the money line a little bit of access. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit of pull with the lines. Let's see here if we can get this loaded up. I'm going to see if I can find a way to get the Finch man on the screen. Let's see. If we can pull this off, this would be incredible. It might not be incredible, though. But listen, we're giving it a cold take right now. Mike Finch, MMA. Let's pull him up. Okay. We might be able to do this, guys. We might be able to do this. Let's see. We got Finch on screen. Finch man right there. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Mike Finch is in the house, man. Mike Finch is in the house, bro. But it looks. How's it look, guys? You tell me. Damn, bro, we got to get it higher. Fortunately, we got to have it like this. But we do got Finch man here. You guys tell me if you want me to keep it like this, I will. You guys let me know what you think, bro. Do we keep Finch man or do we switch it up? Let me know in the chat. Live chat decides. You think it's perfect? That's funny as shit. Let me ask you, can you guys hear my phone in the background? Because it does make a little bit of noise. Can you guys hear a delay coming from the phone? Because we're going to leave the Finch man up if not. Looks awesome. Good. As long as the noise isn't bleeding through with like a double audio, we're good to go. So let me know, guys. Leave it up. You hear a little bit of an echo? Fucking hell, lad. Let's see here. You guys know this is second screen over here. Let's see. Volume is all the way down. Shouldn't be much to hear now. Let's see. Okay. Jesus. For whatever reason, man, they don't turn this thing down. All right, let's see. All right. Are we good to rock? Can we do this? Are you guys hearing this, bro? Because I'm hearing this echo and it's killing me, bro. The echo is it's destroying it for me, bro. I have a big issue with bad sounds, bro. All right. If you hear the echo, let me know. I'll fucking cut it. But right now, this is all we got from Mike Finch. The Finch Meister in the house. But yeah, if the echo gets bad, just let me know in the chat and I'll find a way. All right, let's talk about the matchups. Let's talk first fight of the night. It is Stephanie Egger versus Ailin Perez. I have been picking the side of of Stephanie Egger, but I've been mentioning multiple times, Ailin Perez is not a terrible bet. She's big plus money. I feel like there's a chance for, I don't think it's like a super high chance, but realistically, if she can consistently land takedowns, she can find a way. Egger, known for very good judo, good arm bars. It's hard to pick against Egger. I'm going to ride with Egger as the pick, but to me, not my favorite bet. Definitely not my favorite. As far as the lines for this matchup, Stephanie Egger is going to be a minus 238 favorite. Ailin Perez plus 220 as the dog. I don't really love any of the props here. If you go Egger to win by decision, plus 250. Egger by submission. What is that sitting at? Egger by sub. Sitting at plus 250 also. So the same line as that Egger by decision. I like Stephanie Egger to win. I'll pick her here. I say she gets it done. And I do believe leaning it towards the cards with Ailin Perez being a pretty game challenge for her. I'm going to say yes, but the Finch man says no. Mike Finch, what do you think, brother? He's got nothing to say, man. He's staring off at us. But the Finch man, he did pick Egger to win by submission as the official pick. Good fight. I like I mean, it's a hard debut to me for an Ailin Perez. They're throwing it to the wolves, but you know, respect for her staying in this matchup. She's fighting no Zara Farron. Definitely Stephanie Egger is a lot more capable and more dangerous. We'll ride Egger for the decision. This one, Justin Taha versus, excuse me, Khalid Taha, Justin Taha. I'm thinking Justin Tafa versus Cristian Quiñonez. Good fight here between these two. I am on the Taha side, but I think it's ultra competitive. I know Finchman is going against the grain here, and he's going towards the side of Quiñonez to get the win. I have the Mike Finch picks, brother. I have the Mike Finch picks. Don't worry, bro. I'll be dropping the Finchman picks throughout the night for each of the matchups. You guys might not have the Finch here, but you got a picture of him and you got his picks. So we got him here. We got him here in spirit at the very least. I can see what Finch is doing by picking Quiñonez. I mean, he's game. He's a brawler. He fights well inside. He mixes it up pretty decently with the punching. Good multi-shot combos in close. Will throw down Taha. Okay abilities, pretty decent with the hands. Has some wrestling, but there's going to be guys that are definitely clearly better. The Morozov loss was one of those fights. I'm going to ride with Taha, but I totally understand Finch on Quiñonez, and I don't think it's a bad play as far as the lines for this fight. Taha is minus 112, Quiñonez plus 102. Let's see here. Quiñonez to win by decision, plus 200. That would be, I believe that is Finchman has Quiñonez by decision. Taha to win by decision, my side, plus 225. It's a good matchup. I'm ready to see these two throw down, and I do think Quiñonez brings the fight, man. You should let Mike give his pick first as the joke. Yeah, he'll just stare right into your soul right now, man, because all we got is the Finchman's picture. We don't got him here. We got him in spirit, man. We got his picks, we got him in spirit, and we got his picture, but we don't have the Finchman himself, man. The likeness is not there. The lines for this fight, though, I mean, a little bit of dog money on Quiñonez, but very slight. It's a pretty much pick'ems matchup. Let's jump to the next one. Benoit Saint-Denis versus Gabriel Miranda. Listen, if there's one thing that is a W about Gabriel Miranda, it's that fucking handlebar of a mustache. But as far as him fighting Saint-Denis, I think Benoit Saint-Denis is physically stronger. I think he's got better offensive wrestling. I think he's more powerful from the top position. I think that he's proven durable. And I feel like striking, I'd give it to Saint-Denis by a bit. Looking at the Miranda side, he does have a good submission game, but he's going to be in there with Benoit Saint-Denis, who I don't see as somebody that's easy to match up against and beat for his style. I think Saint-Denis, extremely tough, still young, gets himself the win. I think he actually might get the TKO if you look at this fight, and if they end up striking for the majority of it, I think Benoit Saint-Denis can damage Gabriel Miranda. I don't necessarily feel that way about the opposite, with Miranda being able to hurt Saint-Denis. I think the likelihood of that, extremely low. Cat cut your tongue, Mikey. This is funny as shit. Mike's quiet today, man. I'm not thinking the 1920s dirty Sanchez. Listen, I like the stash, but the actual matchup, I favor Saint-Denis here. Looking at Saint-Denis, the lines for him, minus 270. Gabriel Miranda, plus 240 as an underdog. I understand some good plus money on Miranda, but he's just too unproven for me. I like Saint-Denis, proven tough as hell at the very least. Saint-Denis to win inside distance, minus 105. Saint-Denis KO TKO plus 310. If they did end up striking, I think that would happen. Saint-Denis by sub is plus 270. So Benoit Saint-Denis by either method of victory is very good, but you don't get great value if you're throwing at him straight prop of inside of the distance. Let's keep running up. Next matchup. Nasrat Imavov versus Joaquin Buckley. Listen, guys, I think Joaquin Buckley is going to sleep Imavov, and Mike Finch also is on that dog. So we got some double dog action for me and the Finch, man. I'll throw the shades on for this one because I'm feeling excited, and I think these shades are showing, you know, some high value, some high money, and I think you'll get some good high value, high money, some plus on Joaquin Buckley. I like him to win. I like him to win by KO. If we look at the betting odds for this fight, Buckley is sitting at plus 215. That's big money, man. I like the chances of Buckley knocking Imavov out. When I see Imavov style, he's good from distance with the kickboxing, longer, taller guy, upright style. Buckley is going to close that gap, and I do believe he finds that chin, and he gets a second round KO, the Mystic Max style pick. Buckley to win KO TKO plus 415. I think worth a stab. I think the money line's worth a stab. I think Joaquin Buckley is a quality play. I do think we go under 2.5 rounds also, which is minus 125. Pretty good potential play on this one. I like that dog money. You like Imavov here? Joaquin? I like Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley. It has the money flow. Listen, that Joaquin sounds like you're cha-chinging. So we're riding with Buckley to get the win. Dog attack, me and the Finch man both on Joaquin Buckley. So happy to see it. You like Buckley to win a decision. You think a round 2 TKO for Imavov. Solid, you like Buckley too. Let's get it. Let's go. I like this matchup a lot. I think that the Buckley dog side is very live. Fun fight. I'm excited to see this matchup, man. Imavov is better everywhere. Buckley has low fight IQ, and Imavov round 2 or 3. Okay. Power throughout the fight. Yeah, I was going to say Imavov. He gets reckless in the second. You're calling him that now too. Listen, bro. Yeah, it's Joaquin, bro. Joaquin Buckley. Cha-ching. Let's jump to the next one. It is Faraz Ziam versus Michal Figlak. I am on Figlak to win. I've talked about his pressure. I've talked about how he'll fight well against the cage, the grappling ability. Granted, I've also mentioned Faraz Ziam as a live underdog. If he is able to keep the kickboxing range here, he's going to have a lot of success. The Finch man is on Faraz Ziam as an underdog. You're getting plus money with Ziam, and the Finch man's with it. So, hey, I can't hate on the Finch man's picks. I talked about Faraz Ziam as a live underdog on this week's Best MMA Bets, regardless of the pick. Plus 184. Let's find out what Figlak can do. I do feel like he has the ability to succeed here, but you're fighting a veteran at this point in Faraz Ziam, who's still young in the game and definitely ever improving. As far as odds here, Ziam to win by a decision, if you're leaning that side, plus 290. I personally could see him winning a decision. I have Figlak by decision, plus 115. The Ziam pick is definitely better because you get juicy odds and a live dog here. Granted, Figlak, I do think is going to take it on a competitive decision. Mike Finch disagrees and he goes Ziam. I do assume he sees Ziam style, you know, kickboxing from distance as the most likely and quality, I guess, outcome for him. Ziam only good for 1.5 rounds before he gasses. Figlak by finish is huge odds. Let's see Figlak inside of the distance. Let me bring that one up. Moneyline Figlak, minus 195. Figlak to win inside of the distance, plus 350. I personally think he gets it done on the cards, man. But, hey, if you like that attack, you get good plus, I'd say go for it. Let's keep on running up this card because we got more quality matchups. The featured prelim's good, man. Abus Magomedov and Dustin Stoltzfus. Magomedov is a problem. Myself and Mike Finch also on Magomedov. I'm going Magomedov to win via submission here. I think that he has a quality edge as far as the grappling goes, but I will say Magomedov can strike too. He has I call it Dutch kickboxing style, but I know German kickboxing background. Good amount of movement, doesn't sit there to be cracked. You look at Dustin Stoltzfus, I think he's more hittable. I don't think he's as quick as Magomedov. I think we're going to see the hand get raised for Abus Magomedov in fairly impressive fashion, man. I like the style. I think the ability's been there for a long time. He's on a 2-fight win streak, had a bit of a layoff after losing to Lewis Taylor in the PFL finals, which is high-level MMA for sure. I think Magomedov does pretty well in the UFC, man. I think he's a quality prospect to keep an eye on. He's somebody to watch for sure. And I like this matchup with Stoltzfus to start him out. They're throwing him a guy who hasn't had a ton of UFC success, but is coming off a win. I like this matchup a ton. We're going Magomedov for the win. And I will say by submission over Dustin Stoltzfus. Guys, let's jump towards the main card. The Moneyline main card. I do have to actually quickly list off some odds. I believe I left them out for the last one. Abus Magomedov minus 260, Dustin Stoltzfus plus 235. And we like Abus Magomedov to win via submission. I'm getting too excited for this damn main card. Magomedov win by sub plus 460. Let's talk the main card. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to smash the hell out of the like button. If you're new, subscribe to the channel, show some love. Mike Finch is not in attendance, but you got me, AJ, for the show. And we had Mike Pendleton on early to talk for a bit. Unfortunately, Jessica Rose Clark had some scheduling conflicts and couldn't come through. Hopefully we talk to her soon. Guys, Charles Jourdain and Nathaniel Wood is going to be a hell of a fight. It's a great first matchup of the night. I love this fight. I think that you're going to see a Charles Jourdain on fire in this one. I'm riding with him to beat Nathaniel Wood. Mike Finch, who does he pick? You guys know he picked Nathaniel Wood. Mike Finch goes Nathaniel Wood, Dog City. I believe he said rear naked strangle, as he calls it. I think he said on the ground, but you got to ask the Finch, man. We'll see him probably in the comments. Hopefully he lets us know in the comments if I missaid any of his picks, but I'm 80% sure he said Nathaniel Wood win by submission. I think Charles Jourdain gets it done by a decision. I do think we have an explosive stand-up fight between two dangerous strikers. I think Jourdain has a bit more speed and he's a bit more explosive, though Wood is crisp and accurate as fuck. I think we have an extremely good striking battle where Jourdain, I feel like, takes it by a bit. Both guys are really solid prospects on the way to being contenders, I'd say. Jourdain also fighting out of the southpaw stance. I'm interested to see if those body kicks come into play in this one. And I have him winning against Nathaniel Wood. Now, looking at the lines for this fight. Let's see. Nathaniel Wood is plus 135. Mike Finch's pick. Charles Jourdain minus 144. Let's see. Jourdain to win via decision plus 245. Wood to win by sub, the Finchman attack, plus 1,000. Plus 900. Plus 600 more common, but plus 900 range. Those are some money odds if you're looking for Nathaniel Wood to win by sub. But I'm riding with Charles Jourdain to get his hand raised. I do think he wins the fight. Wood decision. Fire Mike Finch for not showing us. It's his anniversary, brother. It's his anniversary, man. 4-5 losses via finish, and Charles has finished all but one. You definitely could see a stoppage too, but I'm kind of thinking decision. I got Nathaniel Wood winning. You're going Wood, okay. You bet against Jourdain after he de-pantsed Venata. I didn't bet against Jourdain, man. I even picked Jourdain over Burgos. I thought he won that fight too. Charles Jourdain, the official pick. Lines for this fight, minus 144 Jourdain, plus 135 for Nathaniel Wood, man. So pretty quality towards the side of either. You get plus on Wood, but I'm feeling like Jourdain is a quality close money play. Next fight of the night. William Gomis takes on Jarno Errens. I like this matchup a lot. I think Gomis is the cleaner striker with the better technical kickboxing and is a little bit faster. I know Errens has gotten a little bit of respect for knockout power. He definitely does have it. I look at Gomis as a bit more of a technician. It's an interesting fight for sure because, you know, Errens might bring the X factor, which is the ground game. I mean, he does have 5 wins by submission, which a lot of people are looking at him purely in the stand-up. But on the floor, he could have some success. To me, though, Gomis is going to be game wherever this fight goes. I think he's got solid grappling. I like the stand-up. He's a light-footed striker. He's got good punching power. He fights pretty well from the close range with good multi-shot combos. I think he can have some success here. I'm riding with the side of William Gomis to get the win. Finchman also on Gomis for the win. I'm going KO. I'm thinking knockout win in the second round for Gomis. Impressive fashion. But could be earlier, could be later, could go the full 3. But I like Gomis with a fair amount of confidence here. Granted, he's debuting, so we're going to find out a lot here at this level. Gomis is minus 210. Errens plus 190. Let's see. Gomis to win KO TKO plus 200. I like Gomis KO TKO. I like that plus 200 line. But I think that there's a decent money line attack towards Gomis. But I understand hesitancy due to the fact that he's fighting in the UFC for the first time. It's a big opportunity. And I mean, it's a high-level matchup against Jarno Errens, who's no easy out. He's a Netherlands guy. This is Paris versus the Netherlands. I like Gomis at home, though, to get the win. I'm so excited to see the UFC in Paris for the first time. This is going to be pretty entertaining, man. I think it's a great card. Next matchup, John Makdessi and Nasrat Haqparast. I've said all week, I think that Nasrat Haqparast is going to get the win. I don't think he'll be super impressive getting the win, but he beats John Makdessi. Finchman on Haqparast as well. When I look at the fight, man, I just see Haqparast working a decent jab. Makdessi looking to throw power shots in close range. Haqparast a little bit out kickboxing him, maybe pressures him against the cage a bit. Makdessi is going to be limited to really trying to brawl in close. And I mean, yeah, he can spin, he can throw back kicks and whatnot, but I don't necessarily think they're high efficiency or excuse me, high effectivity, and the efficiency even of those strikes isn't great either. Low percentage. I'm thinking Haqparast should win this one by a unanimous decision. I like that for this fight here. You think Haqparast should drop to featherweight? You like Haqparast by submission? Let's look at the lines for Haqparast here. He is a minus 220 favorite. Makdessi plus 200. Haqparast to win via submission. What? Plus 2,800 for Haqparast submission? If you play that line and you cash, holy shit. I mean, that's worth a $10 drop. Like, throw a little something on that one. That's crazy. Yeah, you have to throw a little bit of Haqparast by sub. I like Haqparast to win, but Makdessi's definitely game and can bang inside. He hits pretty damn hard. Win over Ignacio Bahamondes in the last one, too. He did look tiny in that fight with Dan Hooker. Granted, Hooker's a pretty tall guy. Hooker's fought at featherweight. Haqparast could, I think, lean out and drop to that weight class, and maybe that's what the future holds for him. But right now, I mean, he's staying tight at 155 pounds, and we'll see how his success ratio looks, looking to bounce back from 2 straight L's. Let's jump to the featured bout of the night. Alessio Di Chirico versus Roman Kopylov. I have been ever so slightly on the side of Roman Kopylov. Mike Finch is on the side of Di Chirico. It's a competitive matchup. I see Di Chirico as a good brawler, closing distance with powerful overhands. He definitely can bang. He hits hard. He's got dangerous high kicks, knocked out Buckley with one of them, and he was then slept by Rassan, Abdul Razak Al Hassan. In the next fight, Kopylov can mix it up in close, but I mean, he does weather a bit late, had to fend off some takedowns, taking on difficult fight in the last one. Now the EV is escaped. Albert Duraev in the last matchup. I feel like Kopylov can take this one on the scorecards in an ultra competitive fight, but not super confident either way. Finchman on the other side with Di Chirico getting the win. As far as the lines, you're looking at pick'ems. Minus 110, minus 110, even Stevens matchup. And I do think it's going to look pretty competitive too. Good fight nonetheless. Kopylov wins by decision plus 210. DiCurico decision plus 240. There's definitely a chance, though, somebody gets finished and these two throw down in Paris because their backs are kind of against the wall. Losses recently for both of them, 2 straight Kopylov. You look at DiCurico, what is he, 1-4 in his last 5? It isn't looking good for him, and he needs a successful performance here. I feel like he could get one against the likes of Roman Kopylov, but I'm ever so slightly picking Kopylov. Let's see how they look on the scales. I don't love this matchup betting-wise. I think it's a fun fight, but not really. It's not a fight that you want to go and throw serious dough at, in my personal opinion. As Mike Finch says, bet responsibly. This is not gambling advice. Guys, next segment, idea by the producer. I think it's a fun idea too. We're going to talk a little bit of a specialty segment for the next one. Let's bring up the intro. There are some familiar faces on this card, and not necessarily so familiar as in being fighters. Of course, they're known for it, but who do they look similar to? Fun little segment here, celebrity lookalike, also brought to you by MyBookie. Make sure you guys run over there. Use promo code Moneyline to get yourself a 50% playback bonus. Help the team out, help the money line, help the channel grow. So I had to list some things off for this one. I actually think it's a pretty fun segment. What I think some of these fighters have like a clone of, right? So we'll start it off with Marvin Vettori. You look at Vettori and you look at that face and you're thinking, what celebrity does this guy look like? Because to me, I was like, I got no idea. I got a slate of options that I chose from, and I don't even know who the hell this guy is, but I said, bro, this is the doppelganger. Do you guys know who this is? Mauro Icardi. I believe he's like a soccer player or something like that. If you know, let me know in the comments, because honestly, I have no idea. Jessica Rose Clark was supposed to join me in this segment, unfortunately not able to, but I still got her picks. I don't have her picks for the fights, but I got her picks for who the fighters are looking like. Nick Carter. Personally, I got to disagree. I see my guy as identical. Come on. Listen, guys, that's an identical one right there. Next one was Rob Whittaker. I'll be honest, this one's pretty accurate. I would say mine is on the absolute money. Rob Whittaker. Who's the twin? You're looking at it. It is Dave Navarro. I mean, look, come on. How do you tell me anything different? This was gonna be a fantastic segment with Jessica Rose Clark, guys. That's why we brought it in, specialty segment. Unfortunately, we don't got her, but we still bringing the segment in. Rose Clark, though, you're gonna see who she dropped it in. We just gave one of hers away, but it is what it is. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it, but that's funny. And we'll jump to the main for this one. Supposed to be Jesse Jess, but it is what it is. Ciryl Gane, you know who he looks like. Everybody knows. It's Anthony Joshua. We all picked that. Come on now. Jessica Rose Clark, though, went against the grain and said Jay-Z, but come on. It's AJ, Anthony Joshua all day. And for Tai Tuivasa, I'll be honest, this one's fucking funny to me. We both picked the same. You have to say, this is him, Dan Folger and him. Come on, if we got a movie coming out about Tuivasa, I want Folger playing him in the heavyweight division. I like Folger in that one. We got to say, he looks like him. Come on now. You guys see it. Same for Jessica Rose Clark. We had the same one. So I kind of spoiled this one by accidentally pulling it up early, but that's identical. Virtually identical. Fun little segment brought to you by MyBookie. Much love to the team at MyBookie for showing us some love. Much love to the team on this show, the Money Line. Appreciate the continued support by the people too. We're constantly killing it. Shout out to producer Billy Barnes, my G. Shout out Kusha, the editing king. And shout out Mike Finch, who unfortunately isn't here. We got more fights to talk about, some violent festivities. Let's get to the co-main event of the evening. Robert Whittaker versus Marvin Vettori. The pick's Whittaker. Listen, it's very hard to pick Vettori. Vettori does everything okay, and he makes you look bad. But I think Robert Whittaker is the better technical fighter than Vettori. But Vettori's a live dog. He's never counted out in a fight. Finchman also on Robert Whittaker with some confidence too. You have to pick Whittaker's stand-up game as a pretty realistic difference maker. And also, I mean, he's good on the ground. Robert Whittaker can grapple. Vettori's going to need to get this fight to the floor and control from the top. I don't think he controls Robert Whittaker here. I think Whittaker succeeds standing. I wish we had 5 rounds. We only have 3. We're going Whittaker by a decision. Moneyline odds, minus 210 for Robert Whittaker. Vettori sitting at plus 190. Whittaker to win via decision, the official pick, minus 115 for me. And the Finch man himself, I like that close line. I wish we could get that odd boosted to plus 110. Listen, if my bookie's listening to us, which I believe they are, maybe they can give us a little odds boost. Give me plus 110. Come on now. Give me plus 110. He 100% looks like that, man. He looks close as hell to it. Better technically and tactically. I agree with that. You think Vettori controls him for the fight? I don't think so, man. We got a lot of time, and I think we're going to have some quality success from the Reaper, Robert Whittaker. Co-main event pick is Robert Whittaker. Let's jump to the main. If you guys have not yet, smash the hell out of that like button. Show some love to the money line. We're still making things happen without my guy Mike Finch in the house, but we have him here in spirit. Smash those likes, though, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Moneyline every Thursday, normal time, 8 p.m. I know today was 9 p.m. Eastern, but 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Don't miss it. We're back next week with the Finch Man for those UFC 279 picks. Let's talk Gane Tuivasa. Listen, you guys, if you've watched my breakdowns throughout the week, which I believe a lot of you probably have, it's going to be Gane outstriking Tuivasa and getting the win. I think he gets it done inside of the distance. The Finch Man on the pick as well, picking Ciryl Gane to get his hand raised. Tuivasa has the puncher's chance as a big, strong, powerful, and decently quick heavyweight would have. But let's be honest, he's technically outmatched. I mean, Gane was unbeaten in Muay Thai. He's, to me, still unbeaten striking in the UFC. Outstruck Francis Ngannou. We lost that fight with wrestling being the deficiency. Tuivasa is not going to have that wrestling in the back pocket. He's not going to be able to close that gap. Gane picks him apart and stops him in 3 rounds. TKO wins Ciryl Gane. High confidence, but the lines reflect that confidence. Minus 505 Ciryl. Tuivasa plus 440. Looking at the props for this one, let's say we go Gane KO TKO, it's plus 135. Let's say we go under 3.5 rounds, that's minus 120. I do think that under could come through. Tuivasa's big dog money plus 440. I know Mike Pendleton said, listen, I'm going Tuivasa KO. He wants to Mystic Mac it. I'll shout the G out. We like that prop plus 650. It's a super wide one, but it's not impossible in the fight game for a big, strong heavyweight to land a big bomb. I don't think it happens here. I really do not. You're from New Zealand. Let's go, Ty. Let's go, champ. Let's go. Best prop for Gane to me is KO TKO at that plus money. If Tai Tuivasa wins, I will do a shoey for the people. Once again, I'll bring that shoey back for the Tai Tuivasa W. I have to. You think Bam Bam round 3 plus 3,350? That's a big pick. You don't think Ty got better since his last fight? I definitely think Ty is constantly getting better, but I think he's outmatched, man. I think that Ciryl Gane is a different level. Errens versus Gomez. And plus 1,200. Errens and Gomis plus 1,200. That's a pretty quality line, man. Plus 1,200. Holy shit. Get yourself that big plus money. I like that. Guys, main event pick, Gane for myself, from Mike Finch. I want to jump to the lock of the night segment. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Moneyline lock of the night with myself and Mike Finch. Mike Finch, give us the lock. Unfortunately, we don't got the Finchman in the house. I guess I have to read him for us because he's a little shy on camera today. We're riding with the Finchman lock. It's Robert Whittaker. I think that's a fantastic lock. I think that's a lock that definitely could come through. It gets you not great plus money, but like a live play. I mean, it's not a bad line for Robert Whittaker, sitting at around minus 210. For me, my lock, listen, I can't give you guys an ugly line lock. I got to attack somebody that I'm feeling good about with a line that I'm loving. And it's Charles Jourdain at minus 145 as my money line lock. I think that's a solid play. I think it has a high likelihood of coming through. I'm a Jourdain guy, and I see him beating Nathaniel Wood, and I do think Charles Jourdain has success in this featherweight division moving forward. Gane's movement and distance is going to be too much. Yeah, agreed. Let's go, champ. Yeah, lock that up, bro. Lock up Whittaker. Lock up Jourdain. Those are, to me, quality locks. Let's jump towards the $100 parlay segment.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
$100 parlay. Listen, if you're looking for a little bit of plus money, you don't want to go nuts. To me, Charles Jourdain and Abus Magomedov. Let me get the official lines up for you guys. I'll bring up best fight odds so I can get this parlay slate. If we played Charles Jourdain, Abus Magomedov, you're getting plus 130. I think that's a great $100 parlay. If I was to add a bit of an extension to it, you could add Benoit Saint-Denis. I think that he would be somebody I would consider has a high likelihood of success, about plus 210 for Benoit Saint-Denis also on the slate. If you don't like Saint-Denis, or even let's say you leave Saint-Denis in and you went dog city and you said, listen, give me the W for Joaquin Buckley, you're at plus 861. Riskier, but I think possible outcome. If you don't like Saint-Denis in that one, just Abus, Jourdain, and Buckley is still plus 612. I think that's a pretty quality play. Now, the Finch man, I'm going to get his parlay loaded up here. He rides with lock of the week, Robert Whittaker, which I do think is a quality play, and dog money, Nathaniel Wood, plus 240 for his riskier play. But if he was going safe zone, Finchman going towards the side of Robert Whittaker and Abus Magomedov. Those two just sitting at plus 103. But we had to add some spice, so let's add Wood in as well. Plus 368 if you ride with those three. Be cautious with your bets. Be extremely cautious with your parlays. But enjoy the hell out of this UFC card. I think we're going to have a great one. I'll be live for the entire thing, so make sure you guys tune into that show. I'm doing the full card fight companion. Got weigh-in recap tomorrow. I want to look at the fights after seeing them on the scales. Not an off-week Moneyline show, but off-week from our normal flow because Finchman is not here. We sincerely miss the G. Give Mike a follow. It's Mike Finch MMA. Follow his social media. Definitely check him out on YouTube, The Mike Finch Show. Subscribe here if you guys haven't yet. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. You got Gane 3-4-5 in decision for plus 100. I do think that's a great play. Figlak or Gomis, I'm more confident in Gomis getting the win. I would rather go with him because Ziam pretty proven as a difficult veteran to beat. And I know the Finch man is riding with Ziam. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. Not our normal flow, but we still making it work. Smash the hell out of the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Share the content if you enjoy. Content dropping each and every day here on the MMA Experts channel. Moneyline every week. You don't want to miss it. Keep it locked in as always. Much love, my people. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, everybody, and have a fantastic night.